In the timeless void, the Lord God shaped a wondrous garden eastward in Eden. Crystal rivers flowed from its heart, Pishon winding through Havilah of gold and onyx, Gihon embracing Cush, Tigris coursing east of Ashur, and Euphrates, broad and mighty. Every tree pleasing to the eye and good for food rose from the rich soil, yet two stood supreme in the center, the tree of life, radiant with eternal promise, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, forbidden by divine decree. Then the Lord God formed man, Adam, from dust of the ground. He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. God placed him in Eden to work it and keep it, saying, "You may freely eat of every tree, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day you eat of it you shall surely die." Adam walked among lions and gazelles that came peacefully at his call. He named them each by their nature. Yet even in paradise a stillness touched his heart. He was alone. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. From his side he took a rib and fashioned woman, Eve, bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh. Adam awoke and cried, "This at last is bone of my bones." The two stood naked, innocent, and unashamed beneath the eternal trees. Now the serpent was more crafty than any beast of the field the Lord God had made. He slithered to the woman beside the forbidden tree and spoke with honeyed cunning. "Did God really say, 'You shall not eat of any tree in the garden'?" Eve answered, "We may eat the fruit of the trees, but God said, 'You shall not eat of the tree in the midst of the garden, neither shall you touch it, lest you die.'" The serpent hissed softly, "You will not surely die. For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve gazed at the fruit. Beautiful, desirable, promising wisdom. She reached out, plucked it, and ate. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate also. Instantly their eyes were opened. They saw their nakedness and felt shame for the first time. Hastily they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. In the cool of the day they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden. Fear seized them, they hid among the trees. But the Lord called, "Adam, where are you?" Adam answered trembling, "I heard your voice and I was afraid, because I was naked, so I hid." The Lord God drew near. "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree of which I commanded you not to eat?" Adam pointed to Eve. "The woman you gave me, she gave me fruit, and I ate." Then the Lord turned to Eve. She said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." Finally the Lord addressed the serpent. "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock. On your belly you shall go, dust you shall eat all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, between your offspring and hers. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel." To the woman he said, "I will greatly multiply your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you." To Adam he declared, "Because you listened to your wife and ate of the forbidden tree, cursed is the ground because of you. In pain you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth. By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread until you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken. For you are dust, and to dust you shall return." The Lord God looked upon Adam and Eve, now clothed only in fragile fig leaves, and his heart was moved with pity even in judgment. He took the life of animals, the first blood shed in Eden, and from their skins he made garments for the man and his wife, covering their shame. Then the Lord God spoke solemnly, "Behold, the man has become like one of us in knowing good and evil. Now, lest he reach out his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever." He drove them from the garden. At the east of Eden he placed cherubim and a flaming sword that turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. The gate closed behind them forever. Outside the earth lay harsh and unyielding before them. Thorns already pierced the soil, the sun burned hotter than memory. Adam took Eve's hand. Together they stepped into the wide, unknown world, carrying the weight of disobedience, and yet the faint promise whispered in the curse. The seed of the woman would one day crush the serpent's head. Outside Eden, the earth was hard, the sun fierce. Adam knew Eve his wife. She conceived and bore a son. She named him Cain, saying, "I have gotten a man with the help of the Lord." In time she bore another son, Abel. Cain grew to till the ground. Abel became a keeper of sheep. Both brought offerings to the Lord. Abel offered the firstborn of his flock and their fat portions. The smoke rose sweet and acceptable. But Cain brought of the fruit of the ground, and the Lord had no regard for his offering. Cain's face fell. Anger burned within him. The Lord spoke, "Why are you angry? If you do well, will you not be accepted? Sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is for you, but you must rule over it." Yet Cain did not master the darkness. He lured Abel to the field and rose up against him. He struck his brother, and Abel's blood cried from the ground. The Lord called, "Where is Abel your brother?" Cain answered, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" The Lord declared, "The voice of your brother's blood cries to me from the earth. Now you are cursed from the ground. It shall no longer yield strength to you. A fugitive and wanderer you shall be." Cain cried, "My punishment is greater than I can bear." Yet the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest any who found him should kill him. Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, east of Eden. There he knew his wife. She bore Enoch, and he built a city named after his son. Generations followed: Irad, Mehujael, Methushael, and Lamech, who took 2 wives and boasted of slaying a man for wounding him. Meanwhile Adam knew Eve again. She bore a son and called his name Seth, saying, "God has appointed for me another offspring in place of Abel." To Seth also a son was born, Enosh. Then men began to call upon the name of the Lord. From Seth came Enosh, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, who walked with God and was taken so he did not see death, and Methuselah, whose name whispered, "When he dies it shall come." Lamech fathered Noah, saying, "This one shall bring us relief from our work and from the painful toil of our hands, because of the ground the Lord has cursed." Yet the wickedness of man multiplied upon the earth. Every intention of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. The Lord saw that the earth was corrupt and filled with violence. His heart was grieved, and he determined to blot out man from the face of the ground. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. He was righteous, blameless in his generation. He walked with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth groaned under corruption. The Lord spoke to Noah, "I have determined to make an end of all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in it and cover it inside and out with pitch. This is how you shall make it: 300 cubits long, 50 wide, 30 high. Make a roof, a door in the side, and lower 2nd and 3rd decks. I will bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh in which is the breath of life. But with you I will establish my covenant. You, your wife, your sons, and their wives shall come into the ark. Of every living thing bring 2 of every kind into the ark, to keep them alive with you, male and female. Also take food for them." Noah did all that God commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood came. He, his household, and every beast after their kind entered the ark. The Lord shut the door. All the fountains of the great deep burst forth, and the windows of heaven opened. Rain fell 40 days and 40 nights. The waters prevailed, the mountains were covered 15 cubits deep. All flesh died that moved on the earth: birds, livestock, beasts, swarming creatures, and every man. Only Noah and those with him in the ark remained alive. The waters prevailed 150 days. God remembered Noah. He made a wind blow over the earth, and the waters subsided. The ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. Noah sent forth a raven, then a dove. The 2nd dove returned with an olive leaf. The 3rd dove did not return. God spoke, "Go out from the ark, you and your wife, your sons and their wives. Bring out every living thing that they may swarm on the earth and be fruitful." Noah built an altar and offered burnt offerings. The Lord smelled the pleasing aroma and said in his heart, "Never again will I curse the ground because of man, though the intention of his heart is evil from his youth." God blessed Noah and his sons. "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. The fear of you shall be upon every beast. Into your hand they are delivered. Every moving thing shall be food for you, even as the green plants. But flesh with its life, that is its blood, you shall not eat." Then God said, "Behold, I establish my covenant with you and your offspring after you, and with every living creature. Never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of a flood. This is the sign: I set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. When I bring clouds over the earth and the bow appears, I will remember my covenant, and the waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. Noah planted a vineyard. He drank of its wine and became drunk. Ham saw his father's nakedness and told his brothers. Shem and Japheth covered him respectfully. Noah awoke and pronounced blessings and a curse, yet life continued. Generations spread abroad. From Shem came Arpachshad, Shelah, Eber. From them the line of promise descended. Through ages the serpent's bruise lingered in human hearts, yet the ancient word echoed, enmity between the serpent and the woman, between his seed and hers. The promised seed would one day crush the ancient foe's head, though wounded in the heel. Thus the line was preserved through flood and wandering, through curse and covenant. From distant Ararat the rainbow arched, a silent vow of mercy. And in the quiet faithfulness of the righteous few, the first faint light of redemption stirred, pointing forward to the day when the woman's offspring would come, bearing the weight of every sorrow, to heal what Eden lost and fulfill the ancient promise once spoken in judgment and grace. If you're not following us, you're probably never going to see us again. If you are, then congratulations, you're growing every day.